Okay, today we're getting off the beaten path a little bit with this video. I know it's a wood turning site, but I was working on this race bicycle. I was changing the frame out, and necessity is the mother of invention, they always say. I needed a shim because this fork was smaller than this tube, and it was late, basically Thursday. We need to go racing on Saturday. I checked 5 or 6 bike shops. They didn't have what I needed. I couldn't order it over the internet, so I found some parts. So this video is about turning an aluminum shaft down to size. I go into the details on that. I used my wood lathe, and I used my conventional wood turning tools. I used the scraper and the carbide tool and the skew a little bit. It was really slow. It took a long time to trim away at it. So if you're interested in seeing how I kind of put this together and what I had to do, stay tuned. If not, then you've been warned that this is not a typical wood turning project. But we are going to use the lathe and the tools and kind of step outside the box. Today we are working on a BMX race bicycle. I know this is a wood turning channel, but we are going to be turning. We are going to be turning aluminum. And the reason is I have these little carbon fiber forks that are 1 inch in diameter, and I'm upgrading to a new frame, saving all the other parts on the bike because kids grow so stinking fast I can't keep them in race parts. So this headset is bigger. It's more for an adult. It's more standard. So this is 1 1/8 inch inside. So when I put the bearing on there, that'd be too much slop for going 25-30 miles an hour over jumps. So I have my kid's donor razor scooter. Don't tell him. But I've taken this, and it's got exactly 1 inch diameter. So it's going to slide over that with precision. And then we're going to put it on the lathe, and we're going to turn it down until these bearings just go on the ends and everything is perfect. So I have this cut. It's a bit long, and I did that because I wasn't sure whether I like this slot in it or not, and I don't think I do. So I'm going to figure out my length and probably part it on the lathe, but I'm going to put it on. I need to clean a little bit out of the inside here, and then we're going to cut it down on this end to fit this nice bearing, and we're going to measure and cut it down on this end to fit the nice bearing, and then cut it to length. So we're going to try carbon tools and or scrapers and or just chisels. But I know aluminum does cut without too much concern. So let's get after it. Okay, this is a simulation of what I just did. I didn't film it because I don't know why. But I had the piece of tube mounted in the lathe like that. And I came in with my carbide cutting tool. And I needed to trim the end down here just a tiny bit. Because the fork, the way it comes down on the bottom, it bulges out a little bit here where the carbon fiber glues to the steel tube. Only like 0.03, 3/10 of an inch. So I got that done, and it was pretty vibrating, pretty rattly, and didn't make that great of a cut. But we're done. We're ready to move on. I used a scraper and my carbon tool, and both of them seem to cut pretty well. This a little bit left-handed to see how it cuts. 925 RPM. Just cutting it, making it look good. My cup's a little loose. Maybe that'll help. There's a big scraper. That's not afraid to cut it. I'll just clean up the whole thing a little bit. Okay, this is where we are. We have this end all done, and it's down to 117 on the outside and the proper on the inside. And this is a block I made that I put a 1-inch piece in there to support it. And now I'm just trying to trim this down to 1 inch and 1/8. 1.4. I'm trying to just hog the heck out of this. Okay, I'm about done. I have one more piece. This cup goes on top and it's got a little rubber seal in it. So I'm going to sand this and try and get this really smooth. Also, I was smart enough to just realize the way I'm mounting this one, a little 1-inch piece that sticks out here, I can turn this around and up against the cone center I have a lot more support. And then on my post right here, if I were to put tools on it, it's a lot stronger support here. I was getting some vibration out on the end. So, you know, at the end of a project, you figure stuff out. And the way I'm turning this, I've been measuring it. I'm taking such a small amount off, it just doesn't even register on my... And I'm taking such a small amount off, it doesn't even register on my calipers. See, I'm right there at 1.27, 1.28, and I need to be at 1 1/8 is 1.120. See how I got that mounted? Okay, so to wrap it back up, I got the aluminum shaft turned to the right dimension. I parted out. I used a parting tool to cut it to the exact length, which is just above this shim. So the aluminum goes all the way down the shaft and comes out right to where this black shim is and this silver shim. It's underneath the silver shim. I sanded that nice and smooth so that the rubber seal would work there. And then the way the gooseneck goes on, there's a bolt that goes through here to hold the whole thing together. And then these two nuts hold it from, you know, hold it straight, hold the handlebars perpendicular to the wheel. But the bike works great. We've actually used it a couple of weekends now, and there's no play in it anywhere. And so it was kind of a fun project, kind of interesting. Like I said, kind of necessity. I needed to make it so we could get going to racing and get the frame changed out. And after going to 6 bike shops, I didn't have what I needed in town. So that was the project. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, give me your comments, and or let's go racing. Come on, Aiden. Nice.
I can't see how your pressure sounds.
Uh-oh.
Aiden Parrish, the only one coming out of turn number 1. Let's hold the gate for just a second while we make sure they're okay. Looks like Parrish is going to take the 1.